Welcome to Linn Valley Radio. My name is Colin Vaughn. You're listening to Freedom of Information. We're doing a show tonight on a multi-subject. First is first. You know, it's really important, folks, right now that you take action. If you want the cops on the other side of the gates to only be able to come inside here during emergency or to investigate a crime, you need to go to lvlpoa.com. And on that website, there's a Contact Us page. And I want you to write them an email expressing how you feel and what's going on. You know, there's about, I want to say 5 email addresses on there. There's the president of the POA, vice president, a couple other members that are on the board, and then Pam, who's the general manager, she is on there as well. And just let them know your story. You know, the things that you deal with as a property owner in here. You know, I had a chance to get out and I talked to a couple people. They had never met me. Of course, they had heard about me. And, you know, obviously after they met me in person and everybody has the same story, they realized that I'm a stand-up guy. I'm not blowing, smoke up anybody's rear end. And, the lies and the facetiousness they could see, because none of those people that told the lies could really come up with anything besides just this weird story that didn't make any sense or had no grounds. But anyways, it's really important right now that you let them know your story about the police and how you'd like to have them on the other side of the gates and only allow the police to come in for an emergency or to come in to investigate a crime. That way we can have what we all signed up for. And that's peace. Peace. We came here to the lake so we could enjoy ourselves, not to come in and arrive at a prison camp. So it's really important that you communicate that message to them. I'm going to go down there on Saturday and ask that they put together a motion to put it on a public vote. But it always helps when you write an email, letting them know how you feel if you can't make it on Saturday, or if you don't feel comfortable putting your face saying that you don't, support the police sitting around and loitering inside these gates. So just write an email if you can't make it, or if you don't want to, tie yourself up. If you're scared you might be targeted, I get it, I understand. But I've already put myself out there, so really, they all knew who I am. I got nothing to lose. It's whatever. And I made it real clear. I've got no trespassing signs all over my property. They know if they're going to encroach upon this property, you better have a warrant. And you know what? In fact, while we're covering that, I'm going to say that everybody in here, you should have no trespassing signs posted on your property. It lets law enforcement know it's not okay to encroach. It lets Ralph Fitch, who's the Snoopy guy who goes around and tries to write tickets for people, either their lot's messy or they got a car or some kind of crap that he comes up with. Let them know. Put up no trespassing signs. It's important, folks, that you have that right. It's your private property. Put those signs up. It lets them know that you're not just a normal guy or a normal person. It's not okay to encroach upon your property. So, while we're on that subject, get yourself some signs. Seriously. But some other interesting things, as I saw the POA meeting is on this Saturday at 9 a.m., by the way, but they had a couple things on the agenda list, and one was banning the use of cameras and recording devices in POA facilities. Now, I can only assume that that's because I went up there and recorded them back when they gave out my information without my authorization. I never signed a privacy waiver, but I did go up there and record that it wasn't okay to give out my information, and they had to put basically a hold on it, if you will. But I assume that's probably where that came from, but that's the way it goes, and it's absolutely unacceptable for you to ban that. When you record something, it documents that moment in time, and if somebody tries to say that you said something or you didn't say it, having a recording is always the best way to do things, and I don't know how they could pull that off. To me, that seems uncool, and I would imagine there would be a big problem with that. And then the next thing that was on the agenda was bringing a firearm. I would assume either open carry or concealed. I don't remember if it said one or the other. But, if folks don't understand, Kansas recently passed a law that you can conceal and carry in the state of Kansas without a license now. And we are a big gun-toting state. And I think it's I don't even know how they put these things on the agenda, but to even consider passing that would be horrible. Everybody has the right to carry a firearm, for except felons. I think that's the only ones they don't allow to carry one. But everybody should be able to carry a firearm if they want to for their own safety or their family's safety. But for some reason, they are putting that to a discussion for a vote. So if you got a problem with either two of those things, you need to show up or you need to voice your opinion via email. Like I said, you can go to lvlpoa.com and go to the Contact Us portion of the page and write those board members an email and let them know how you feel. So, lots of changes going on here, and I really feel like that we can't move forward until we get this big piece of the puzzle, and the big piece of the puzzle is the police, because it really changes the dynamic here. People just don't like that the way they operate, and I keep running into it. Not only based on the survey, but in person. It just confirms everything, and I've said this all along. Everybody that I've talked to here at the lake or that I've hung out with, they all feel the same way, like they came here to relax and get their, rest and relaxation here at the lake. Even, your weekend warriors, they definitely don't want to come here and get harassed. And if you live here, we get it worse than anybody. And to me, if I see you at the gates all the time, in a sense, that's some sort of a harassment. It bothers me when you're sitting around, over at the fire station, behind the community center, or at the gates. Then you got nothing to do but sit there and laser burn people with your eyes and stare people down, or look at who's coming in and see if you can find a victim of some sort. But, we can't move forward, I think, until this issue is addressed. And, I'm confident that when it goes to public vote, that we'll have the police on the other side of the gates now. They haven't approved for this to go to a public vote. And if they don't, I have a plan B in motion that will make that happen. But it's important that you express your interest in seeing that happen by writing an email if you cannot make it for Saturday morning. And, you got to hold people responsible. Sitting around watching TV and not doing anything is not going to get you what you want, unfortunately. And the types of people that have been getting their way and gotten this place, as strict as it is, and no offense, it's primarily this group of older folks that have been here a long time. Maybe they forget that they came here with their kids and had a good time. And now all of a sudden it's like they've been controlling this place and want it to be like a retirement community in some sort of weird way. But, sitting around and not saying anything is not going to work. You have to get vocal. You have to go to meetings, or you have to write them an email. Any type of action that shows that you're not okay, you need to do it. Don't sit around and go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it now. Get on there and write your email and express your story. Or if you have a story to tell. I just heard a guy tell me that before he even bought property in here, he got pulled over by Joe and wrote a ticket because he drove up to the guard trying to ask a question and went the wrong way over there and got a ticket from Joe before he even bought a place. I'm like, there you go. That kind of sets the standard, doesn't it? But anyways, that's all I got for this first segment here. Just wanted to emphasize some importance of why it's good to go to POA meetings. And they announce what's on these agendas on short notice. So I wanted to throw in there about video recording with your phone or recording audio and carrying a firearm. That is on the agenda. If you've got a problem with either one of those things, you need to make sure that you voice your opinion on that. Anyways, my name is Colin Vaughn. I'm your host. This show is called Freedom of Information. We'll be coming up with part 2 here in just a bit.